In what I personally believe is a desperate attempt to bounce back from lost support from his base, President Donald Trump today announced that he wants to ban institutional investors from buying homes. Now, I'll believe it when I see it, because Homeboy says all sorts of things and never follows through. But one other thing that I will say about that, I would support him doing this, but it would not be the fix to our housing crisis that a lot of people would think it would be. The biggest issue with our housing crisis right now is lack of homes. We need to build more. You build more, that's gonna bring costs down. So while I welcome this and I hope it happens, I am suspicious toward Trump. I don't think he's actually gonna do it. If he does do it, I support it, but it's not gonna solve our very deep issues with the housing market. Now the move though is likely a response to how young voters have been feeling about Trump. Now he won the popular vote in large part because young voters flocked to his campaign and they decided to vote for him. But now they've changed their minds. Polling indicates that they have soured on Trump, so I wanna give you some of that data. Now Trump shared his supposed plans about the private equity and the institutional investors buying up homes on a Truth Social post. So I wanna give you the details on that first. He says for a very long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. Because of the high inflation or record high inflation caused by Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress, that American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people, especially younger Americans. I am immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single family homes, and I will be calling on Congress to codify it. Okay, so again, we'll wait and see. Only time will tell. But let's talk about the polling here, starting with a poll from youth polling expert John Della Volpe. So the poll talks about, or at least addresses, the expenses that young Americans are most concerned about. And the expenses that they're stressed out about are groceries and housing, which by the way, groceries are insane, like absolutely crazy. I can't believe how much it costs to buy food. Like it really is insane. And housing of course is crazy and has been crazy for a long time. Now some young men thought that Trump would help them, out with these issues, but now many of them say that they're disillusioned. Only 27% of young men agreed that Trump is delivering for people like you. 40% said he talked big but let people like me down, while another 26% responded he's made an effort but didn't deliver. Young men are also, I'm very happy to share this with you. Young men are mostly isolationists, which I can't wait for the future. So here's what the survey found when it came to their isolationism. So avoiding unnecessary wars and conflicts is of paramount importance to young men. 78% of them said it matters, and 68% said they'd be more likely to support a candidate who avoids them. The kids are all right. Now, Trump's policies have damaged his favorability with young voters as well. So in this poll, in the same poll that was carried out last spring, Trump's favorability rating among young men was 56%, but it dropped all the way down to 46% in the more recent poll. So the survey took place in fall of last year, and the participants were as young as 16, as old as 29. So these are really young, I can't even say voters because you can't vote at 16, but younger Americans and what their sentiments are toward Donald Trump. Now, how do young men feel about themselves in the world? Well, his polling revealed that young men are carrying around a lot of negative emotions, but they don't always feel comfortable expressing what they're feeling. So 84% say that they carry a lot of stress or pressure. 77% feel like they're on their own with very little support or help. The same amount say that they do not feel excited or motivated. Like there's a very real crisis in the country right now. And there has been a lot of attention on how young men are feeling, because if you look at the data, it's not just about self-reporting in these surveys. If you look at the data when it comes to like graduation rates, employment, things like that, young men really are falling behind, and it is a crisis. When you look at where they're at with depression, right? Depression rates have been higher among young men recently. It is a crisis. And if you care about the country, which I absolutely do, you can't just be hyper-focused on your personal identity group, right? You should want everyone in the country to thrive. A happy country is a better place to live, and knowing that so many people are struggling, obviously not just young men, a lot of people are struggling, but you see it being very pronounced when it comes to young men. And I do think it's an issue that needs to be addressed. Exactly half say men are being pushed aside in society. And remember, we shared that compact piece that delved into the numbers of men who had been essentially discriminated against at the workplace. It's kind of crazy talking about it now because historically speaking, women had been discriminated against in the workplace. But now the tables have turned, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think that's actually terrible. We should be against discrimination of all forms. Now, which public figures do these young men like? Well, the top 3 in order of favorability rating from highest to lowest. And I found this kind of surprising. You've got Barack Obama at 56%, followed by Mr. Beast at 55%, and Joe Rogan at 53%. By the way, Joe Rogan's recent episode with Kurt Metzger is worth a listen if you want your blood to boil. Like, Kurt Metzger was totally right about Venezuela and how it's not about us, ending drug trafficking from Venezuela. And Rogan mentioned, well, they found the remains of like one of those little fishing boats that they bombed, and there was marijuana. And I don't know, maybe I misread it, maybe I misinterpreted what he was saying, but it's like, oh, are we gonna bomb boats for marijuana now? I don't know, maybe he was trying to prove Metzger's point as correct, that this isn't really about Venezuela being a major drug trafficker. But who knows? I mean, he's avoiding hot button political issues like the plague. His Theo Von interview was terrible. I didn't like it. I think Theo Von wanted to get into a lot of different topics that got shut down right away. But Metzger steamrolled. I mean, it's worth a listen.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.